So, hi everyone. Once again, good morning, good evening, all of you. So, could you quickly introduce yourself? Could
Hello,
everyone?
everybody. This is
Yeah.
Naveen speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I am currently a student. I'm studying in Fanshawe College uh, in London, Ontario. And I have previously worked in software industry as majority as a software developer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to learn,
Mm-hmm.
get into the testing career.
That's great. That's great to know. So, for others who want to introduce, just mention your name, your years of experience, if you are from IT or non-IT or non-IT, and which place of the globe you are attending the session, and you can add something about your career if you want to. So, requesting others to
Hello. Hi, good
hello.
morning, everyone. I'm Firdaus. So I'm a software test engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a total experience like 10 years plus in testing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joining from Malaysia.
Great, great, Mohammed. How about others? Quickly, couple more.
Hi, this is Sandhya. I'm from Hyderabad. So I'm having a 3 years of experience in manual testing. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to learn as well in automation.
Mm-hmm. Great. Who's
Hi,
next?
Hi, Dean.
Sorry.
Thank you. Hi, team. Good morning, good evening. Myself, Karthikeyan. I'm totally having 13 years of experience. I am from Chennai. So I
Mm-hmm.
have the background of the UI automation. I just want to learn about the API and around things. Thank you, team.
Okay. Okay, great. Two more, then we'll get started.
Hi, I'm Vidya. So I'm joining from New Zealand. So I have 10 plus years of experience in functional testing. So I'm looking forward to attend the section. Thank you.
Great, great. New Zealand, good country.
Hi, this is
Hi
Satyendra.
everyone. Go on.
Sorry. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, this is Satyendra, and I'm from New Delhi. And I have around 8 years of experience into recruitment and a business analyst. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn automation so that I can just switch to automation.
Okay, great, great. So since you're into recruitment, getting and you know how to find jobs easily.
Yeah, totally.
Great. Mm.
Hi,
Others?
this is Sindhu. Yeah, hi,
Mm.
this is Sindhu. Totally, I have experience of 13 years in automation, Selenium, Leap work, and everything, but not
Mm.
through API testing. I would like to
Mm.
learn that. I'm from Hyderabad.
Great, great.
Yeah, hi, good morning, team.
Yeah, good
So
morning.
my name is Sumit. I have around 12 plus years of experience. So I have completely worked on functional testing, manual testing, and also working as an mobile automation engineer along with test lead. So I would
Mm.
like to learn API automation. So that's the reason I have joined this course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
So I am speaking from Hyderabad.
Okay, great. We will ask one more and we will get started with the content for the day.
Hello, good morning to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm from New Delhi. I am fresher in QA. I am eager to learn the new API testing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So let's try to understand our first question for the day. Why automation testing is important? I'm not asking about what is automation testing. Why automation testing is important in the current era? Can anyone tell me?
So that manual work can be automated.
One after the other, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Less effort and accuracy.
Less
Not that
effort.
100% accuracy we are getting, but we can give at least. And we can less the efforts of manual testing when you are compared to the automation.
Repeated same test for manual test, we can do automation and the regressions.
Okay. Great.
Fail first, which means whenever we are doing the developer adding the code, and then we can integrate with any CI/CD. If anything is bug find, so we can find the bug in earlier elements. So these are the recent thing for the automation when the Scrum and the Agile or when the DevOps pipeline are introduced.
Okay, got it. Good. Yeah. So we have got answers like saving time, saving efforts, saving execution times, continuous. I mean, we need to do continuous executions as the testing life cycles are shorter now. Correct. So let's go to the another picture. Like, what is the life of a pure manual tester in the current market versus a smart tester who includes automation and does manual testing wherever it is required? How will be the life be? Like, what do you infer from this graph in the current market? Like, from the last 2 years, if you are only a manual tester versus a tester who has included automation into their project. So what will be there? What will be the testing life cycle? How will be the rules be? Can anyone throw some insight on this?
Yes, for manual testing, we can means in the UI we can check manually the whether the application is working as expected or not. But it will take some time and efforts also. So when the releases happens on tomorrow, so when the bugs fixing by today itself, so it is so much of effort we need to do actually. So for the automation, when we are giving the means in the data table sheets, keywords and everything will be ready. So we can in the 1 minute or 2 minutes, we can run the execution, and if it is expected or not, we can know at least by 1 or 2 minutes instead of wasting the time.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Anyone else?
So current testing effort is we need to check a lot of coverage. Like apart functional testing, we need to do the performance, accessibility, and then visual oriented. So if we automated the functional area, so we can also extend our automation coverage on the other aspects. So in order to give the quality product, because currently we are doing everything is an end-to-end thing. So we need to
Yes.
increase our coverage.
Correct. Last one more, guys, before we go to the next point. Right or wrong is secondary, guys, but active participation is something I'm expecting from this group. So please, others. Others, are you there?
Yeah, hi. So actually to reduce the repetitive task, which a manual tester used to do, and to also like to detect early issues in the testing life cycle.
Okay. So that's the thing. So I'll echo with all your points, and I'll also say, apart from all this, we are also missing one more thing: work-life balance. So with the help, if you have built automation scripts prior, and if it is robust, if you make a robust automation framework, it will do the work for you whenever you're sleeping or whenever you're going for a tea, coffee, or you want to go for a long break for 2 hours or come back and sit and see what is the final execution report. You can also do all these things, guys. I mean, that's one way of doing smart work. And also, there's a lot of end-to-end testing that is required in the current market. See, as Mr. Karthikeyan echoed it, the same thoughts I will also echo it. Like we have to do performance testing, we have to do accessibility testing. Now, every testing is gaining traction. Every testing is gaining importance. Not like the days back in 3-4 years where manual and automation was sufficient. Now, every kind of testing is important, and everyone should do all kinds of things. That's the thing now. We are not restricted to the only automation or manual. We have to do all sorts of testing as a team to ensure that our application is working properly or not. Now, what are the advantages of automation testing? Reliability. They perform precisely the same set of operations each time they are run, thereby eliminating human error. So if I ask you to say like make payments for thousand different accounts, make payment for this particular account for 1,000 times. It will precisely perform the same operation each and every time as they run, eliminating human error. Repeatability, enabling the capability to test how the software reacts under repeated execution. Like the same scenario, like if I make 1,000 payments to the application, how the software is reacting. Does it break down when I'm making continuous executions? Does it break down? Does it do something? Comprehensiveness provides the ability to build a suite of tests that covers each and every feature of your application. Some Karthik and I guess, like we are here for a more coverage, more testing. So this automation testing will help you create a suite of test cases that covers each and every corner of the scenario. We are here as an automation engineer, as a QA engineer. As an automation engineer, our role is to automate majority of the features, not majority of the test cases. Majority of the features which covers like the critical test cases for that particular feature. With this, we can enhance our coverage. Reusability. So tomorrow I'm back. I'm changing the build to a older version to check everything is working fine or not, to check the backward compatibility or something like that. So enabling the same script can be run on different versions of application, like in QA, in dev, in other environments, to check everything is working fine or not, and all these things. Programmability, ability to program sophisticated tests that brings out hidden information from the application. Like I'll tell you one scenario, like I did for mobile and UI also, this scenario that when I was trying to log in, it was logging in normally, but sometimes it is failing. Why I realized? Because there's some problem with the animation. What is the animation? The SLA for that animation should be completed is 5 seconds. So what is happening now? It has taken 15 seconds. Now I informed the same thing to the dev team, stating that, hey boss, check your network log, that this animation is taking 15 seconds. So what happened actually there in that situation? What happened was like the network call routing had an issue. With that, what happened? It has impacted our performance on the application. So one small animation had led to found some big network level issue. So what I do at the TCP layer and TCP layer, they have modified certain protocols to ensure that the network calls are going properly. So with that change, the application speed has increased by 15 to 20%. So that is one example I can say, like when it brings out the hidden information from the application. Same thing with mobile, like in our we had a checkout page. It's taking around 15-20 seconds to navigate to payment page. When we checked out there was some service that is unnecessarily going into certain loop. So that kind of information we can get it from programmable part. Fast automation tools run significantly faster than manual process. So you never ever like this. It runs like a flash. The moment we have a cup of coffee and come back, sometimes you will see that it will finish execution of 10 test cases, 15 test cases like that. Cost reduction, the result of better quality software, ability to run more tests in less time with reduced team size. This is something that attracts any company CEO or something like that. See this point: better quality software, ability to run more tests in less time with reduced team size. This is what is an attracting point for every project manager, every CEO or CTO. Got it? Clear? So ultimately, if you're running more test cases in less time with reduced team size, what will be the output here? That means cost reduction. So ultimately, I'll say get some profits here. Clear? Is this clear, guys? All good?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions about why automation, how important it is in the current market?
I have a question, Rahul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any, when we take some scenario, basically my question is that I would like to know is there some good quality and quantity from the manual side, which is not supporting to the automation wise? Is there any something?
Like there is no metrics or there is no any dense metrics for it. But when we go through the test case documentation or the user stories or the PRDs, that time we make a decision which is feasible for automation, which is not feasible for automation. That's when the QA director will sit with the automation leads and the manual leads and understand which can be done by automation testing in the future or in the N-1 sprint and all these things. So during the test planning time only, we make the decision making.
Okay, but if, for example, there are some scenarios which can support more compared to the automation, so it will support only the functional. So, do we have that kind of scenarios? I'm just asking.
Those are there. Those are there. Like I'll tell you, when we want to test this Apple Pay, or if you want to test this Chase Pay, if you are from US. So when we wanted to test this, sometimes automation might break down. So in that case, we check this manually because there's something called as localization testing. Because Apple Pay for my application does not work in India, it works in Dubai. So that time we will see to do manual testing and all those things. Certain areas, like if you ask me captchas, like if you ask me image processing, like I want to check for this particular product, this image is coming or not, or for this, when you go for on a highway, this image is there, whether it has captured the right image or not, something like that. Because these OCR systems are not yet mature. Sorry? Okay.
Not
So,
from my end. Yeah.
So these are certain scenarios which you can do. I'm not saying that 100% automation is possible, but at least automate the repetitive tasks or the complex systems which can be automatable so that you will save time and you can be more creative as a tester. Because as a QA in the current market, we have to do performance testing, we have to do load testing, we have to do we have to check the application from all routes and corners, and the time is very less for us.
True. So another question. So for this course, like we seen there is a AI related. So do
Like
we
last
have?
I'll discuss. Now I'm
Okay,
discussing only about automation. During the
sure.
course plan, I will discuss. So speed, well, as I've told you, speed. It requires repetitive execution of test cases, while regression testing and executing the test cases is manually is time consuming. Only manually executing the whole end-to-end suite is time consuming. So automation testing drastically reduces the testing time. Effective test management. Like for suppose, I have a similar product, like I've built a robust framework for one of the products. Now another client has come with the same product requirement. I need not prepare the scripts from the scratch. I can reuse the same script, understand what are the changes, and I can rework on the old script. That way, if you have a robust automation framework in picture, then that way I can migrate it to different frameworks. And a wider test coverage. Scope to create a large number of complex automated tests along with their execution repeatedly over a period of time. That means what? If you automate a large number of complex test cases as part of a QA, then it gives a bandwidth for manual team to create more scenarios, find more edge scenarios, find more issues, more bugs like that. Accuracy, greater precision and lower errors than manual testing. So what is happening? If I ask you to do the regression testing for 2 times, 3 times, you will be interested. If I ask you to do for the 10th time, you will obviously be under the self-assumption, this is working, that is working. So in order to avoid such things, we bring in automation testing so that it does precisely the same set of operations. Resource optimization. This part is very interesting. Like suppose in my company, I get a nightly build. I cannot sit every day at night and test my smoke rate. So once you have a robust automation framework which it runs the smoke suit after the deployment is completed, I will ask the DevOps team to embed my smoke suit there. After the deployment is completed, then trigger the pipeline for this and check whether everything is working fine on it. This is known as resource optimization. I need not ask my resources to sit every day at night and execute the test cases. Clear? Great.
Yes. Yes, but I have a one question regarding the captcha. So we are not automating the 100% automation regarding the captcha, right?
Not with captcha, with respect to the whole application.
Okay, okay.
Captcha is one of the scenarios which we are not automating it. And if
Yes.
you automate also, you might have to study the SOP. Like most of the people have to work with the project management team or the business team to understand the SOP, because there will be a rule sometimes. Like I had my personal experience with automating captcha, that I didn't study the SOP and I automated captcha. Like luckily I got some OCR tool and I started automating the captcha. What happened? The same automation script, I pushed it to production just for a read-only smoke. So what happened? It has automated the capture. Like it has started capturing the things and it has automated the capture. Now what happened? Now the client has really bursted on it, because as per the SOP, you're not supposed to automate capture. If you're automating it, that means your capture algorithm is really bad. So that kind of a thing we got it. We got a very big issue when we are
Yeah,
automating the
yeah.
capture.
So that's why I'm asking. I'm cross-checking captcha. I'm not hearing
I
about that.
mean, it depends on SOW. Study the SOW and then take a decision. In my
Okay.
experience, I always ask for the SOW. Whenever I want to automate, I ask for the PRDs and the statement of work from the business people so that I can understand what is the scope. Not many people will say that read the SOW, but my experience says that read the SOW while you're automating it, because there are certain areas which they say that you should not automate. If you're automating it, that means my bots can access the application like that. There'll be certain things. So always sit with your business team and get your SOWs.
Other than that captcha, any other things we are not automating the 100%?
OTP validation in production.
Okay.
OTP in UAT and production, they link it with some external third-party service vendor, right? So you have to access the third-party service logs.
Yeah. Okay.
So all these things are there. See, automate what is repetitive, what is complex, so that it will save your time. That's it. So based on the global understanding, these numbers are something that is generic. There is nothing to point out to anyone. Like if you want to do a full regression suite with only manual testing, it will take 160 man-hours on a general. When I say regression testing, it's not only about executing. We have to provide the evidences of what happened in that suite, whether it is working properly or not, and all those things. Whereas with automation testing, once everything is robust, it will take 16 man-hours to finish the regression suite of 1,000 test cases. How it will finish? In automation testing, we don't execute sequentially. We run 5 test cases at a time, 6 test cases at a time, like that. Clear? Now partial regression testing. Now, if you want to do a partial regression testing of 250 test cases, what will happen? So it will take 40 man-hours to execute a partial regression of 250 test cases. Whereas with automation testing, it will take 4 man-hours. Same thing for sanity, same thing for smoke. These efforts are on a generic basis. Of course, it varies from company to company, project to project, but these are also generic numbers. Now, before we step into the test automation, these 5 lessons that we all need to learn. First thing, don't automate a mess. Since you know automation testing, since we all know automation testing, don't create a mess out of the project. Automate what is required. Second thing, avoid complex logic in your script. Automate the scenarios as per the business logic only. Don't include unnecessary logic in the project. 100% automation is not possible. Even now, if I say 100% automation is not possible, don't believe me. 100% automation is never ever possible. Of course, with the APIs, we can achieve that 100% automation, but with the UI, 100% automation is not at all possible. Fourth thing, beware of automation engineers who don't understand the testing, like what is sprint, what is life cycle, what is testing, what is a sprint life cycle, what is N-1 sprint, what is waterfall model, what is agile model. The basic testing terminologies is something we all need to understand. Okay. Test automation is a software development process. What do you mean by this, Rahul? So it is also a software development process. We have to write a code, we have to build a framework, we have to do everything, all these things. Clear? So is this clear, everyone? What are the 5 important lessons that we need to keep on track of? So if you need to keep these 5 points in your head. Clear?
Yes. I have a question.
Yes.
So who will decide the functional test cases conversion decision by the for the automation?
See, all the leads will sit together and they make a decision. It's not like only you or someone. There are different ways of working in a company. Like suppose one company will be like, okay, I'll leave it to the resources who has prepared the test cases. They can make a decision of which can be automated. If they are skilled enough automation engineers, they will only take a decision. Or else the QA director will sit with the automation lead and the manual lead, and they'll say like, hey, automation team, you check the feasibility of which can be automated and you let me know. So there are 2 ways to look at it. And nowadays they don't have any separate automation and manual team now. Most of the companies are migrating. So in the same team only, same person only will do manual and automation now. Clear?
Yes.
Any doubts so far? And there is also one more notion that happens in the market, not right now, but 2 years back, they say, why do I need to spend time on automation testing? Manual testing is taking less time. Correct. Till what? Till the initial phases of the build. As long as the builds progress more and more and more, the number of man hours to test an application will increase. It's not like the human efforts. It's like sometimes during the go live phase, we tend to add more people into the project. Like they are expert in this. They have handled a lot of go live things and all these things. So we'll pull lot of people into this project and we'll say everything is working fine, like that. Clear? Whereas automation testing takes slightly higher efforts than regular at the initial stage, but once it is stabilized, it will take the same number of man hours to execute it. Nowadays, people are not saying like this now. But if you go back to 2 3 years, like during the COVID days, some people used to say like, okay, manual testing is important. Why do we need automation testing? It is taking a lot of time to automate. So we used to hear all these things. Nowadays, no one will say like this. Even the big MNCs also migrating to automation testing nowadays, is what I heard. So with this, let's jump to the course plan. What are the topics that we are covering as part of this journey? Give me a moment, guys, please. So for any automation tool, let it be REST API testing or Selenium or APM or whatever it is, the first step is programming language. We need to be very clear about what programming language we have chosen, and you need to have a good knowledge on it so that you can write an efficient and robust scripts. For that, we will start with the core Java basics, like what is variable declaration, string functions, string builder, string buffer, conditional statements, the looping statements, while, do, while, for each, constructors and method chaining, what is encapsulation, mutable and immutable classes, method declarations, switch, enums, all these things. Then we will go to the next point, that is arrays and collections. Arrays and collections are like bread and butter for all of us. Let it be any kind of a testing, any kind of coding you do. Even a developer also needs to have a great knowledge on arrays and collections like 1D array, 2D arrays, array list, hash set, hash map, tree map, DQ, sequence collection, queues, and more. Clear? Then inheritance and interfaces. So what is this inheritance? What is this super keyword, method overriding, abstraction concepts, interfaces, top-down approach, use of super keyword? How do we mix constructors with inheritance and interfaces? And what are the different types of inheritance and different types of interfaces also? How do we do with it? So we will we will have a dedicated time on Lambda, streams, and Lombok expressions, because these days you go for any interview or you go for any framework, nowadays Lambda, streams, and Lombok expressions is like a mandatory now. Without this, they will not ask you to even clear the interview. Forget about projects, clear the interview. And also at the same time, when you're working in a project, some companies are stating like try to use this Lambda streams and Lombok, especially when you go for a MANG companies or a crazy product-based companies. And file operations. What are the different types of file operations? Writing the data, reading the data, copying the files from one location to another location, writing and reading the object data, buffer libraries concept, and all those things. Okay. Then we will be having a detailed understanding of exception handling, try catch block, purpose of finally block, multiple catch blocks with one try block, checked versus unchecked exceptions, handling the errors at the runtime, ducking and rethrowing an exception, custom exception classes, all these things we will see. So exception handling, I'll tell you one thing, that it looks simpler, but when we put it in a real framework, it will be a nightmare, because the exception handling is something that comes during the execution time a lot. So we need to be smart enough to handle all those errors. Okay. Then we go for generic concept. What is wildcard, upper bound, lower bound? Because these days, if you say that you know collections perfectly, then they'll ask you questions on generics. What is this generics? What is this concept? What you're doing actually? Clear? So this is
Sir, so regarding the hello, can you hear
yeah.
me?
Tell me.
Yeah, so my question is that how much time are we going to spend on in terms of weeks for
I
the
mean,
core
see,
Java?
I'll tell you, we are a weekday batch, so definitely it'll take 5 to 6 weeks for core Java itself only because core Java expectations are growing day by day, and we have to keep up with the market. That's the reason. Previously, I used to take only 4 weeks. Now I'm taking 6 weeks
So
because
are we
the
going to uh okay, so are we going to finish all the core Java and then move on to
yes, yes.
okay, so that's the plan. Okay, sure. Thank
That's
you.
why. See, what is the plan of course? Like I'm just explaining first core Java. Without core Java, I'm not gonna teach any topic. So first core Java shall be completed, then only I'll go for any topic. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then we will also see records, optional, sealed inheritance, sealed interfaces, and I'll be giving you some programming questions from an interview perspective, some weekly assignments, 250 plus programming questions, topic-wise MCQs. You'll be getting a lot of programming questions from me, and you'll have to answer them over the portal and all those things. Clear? So these are the minimum expectation of a core Java because the line between the QA and the dev is slightly decreasing nowadays. So in order to cope up with that, we are coming up with these many core Java concepts. Previously, I didn't have generics and records. Now I've added everything. And there is something called as annotations. Luckily, they're not asking much questions on annotations right now. I'm not putting that, else I would have even discussed annotations. Clear? Any doubts with respect to core Java? Any doubts? Good to go.
Just you have mentioned about the inheritance, right? So, remaining we have, right? Oops, concept, encapsulation, everything.
Yes, it is there. It is there as part of the core first topic, like constructors, encapsulation we have there, no? Abstraction is part of inheritance.
Yes, I'm not saying only just constructor, I'm saying, so that's what I'm asking this question.
You have not seen?
No, I'm not saying inheritance and interfaces. Can you check? I'm not saying. Oops, concepts.
We don't put OOPS concepts separately. We put it like this, inheritance and interfaces. You see abstraction, you see inheritance, you see interfaces.
There is encapsulation and abstraction.
Abstraction I've shown you, right? See this abstraction concepts. This comes under a part of inheritance only. That's the reason.
Oh. Polymorphism.
Polymorphism is part of methods.
Overloading. Yes.
Yeah. Polymorphism is part of methods. Here we have constructors. Encapsulation is all there, but if you want, I'll add it right away.
Because in every interview they're asking about the OOPS concepts.
Yeah,
Have we
I know. I'm also an interviewer. I also take a lot of interviews.
Actually, I'm from manual testing. I'm not about that much familiar about it.
Yeah, now it's okay. Method concepts includes everything,
Yeah,
overloading, types of methods and all. Now encapsulation, see, constructors has emerged on the concept of encapsulation. Nowadays they're not asking straightforward OOPS concept. They're asking you the origination of how the constructors came, how the thought of constructors came out.
it's how you have built in the framework by using
Not in the
these
framework, like from a native perspective, they're asking questions. Native means from a Java team, how they are thinking, like why this constructors has come and all those things.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't worry, we are covering all the OOPS concepts. Okay. It's difficult to put it in one box, that's the reason, but it's okay. I'll set it right now. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul.
So let's go to the next one. That is API testing, which is the most important thing of the hour. Okay. So what we are doing now, let's understand what is API testing, the client server architecture. Why do we need API testing? offline versus online APIs, different types of API, different types of API testing techniques, types of web services, HTTP methods and its purpose, what are the different status codes. Then we go for Postman tool and why, what is the installation of Postman tool and the walkthrough of the Postman tool, Postman workspace, Postman collections, Postman monitors, performing API requests for different HTTP methods, importing collections from Swagger, what are the different types of variables in Postman. Then we'll see advanced Postman collections like what is curl and its purpose, what is JavaScript concepts, what are the different JavaScript coding you have to learn for Postman. I will also teach you the JavaScript part for Postman because many people say that when I want to write the test cases, you don't need much of JavaScript, but if you want to really excel in Postman automation testing, you need to have some good amount of JavaScript. That's where I'll also come into picture. Scripting test cases using pre and post script tab, parsing the JSON and XML data, chai.js assertions, running the collections manually and also using Postman CLI, installation of Newman library, generating different kinds of Newman reports, JSON schema validator, request chaining, how do we do data-driven testing using CSV JSON, how do we integrate Postman collections with Jenkins and Docker. And we'll also be seeing all the rest assured concepts. What is rest assured? What is the BDD versus non-BDD approach? Performing different HTTP methods. How do we pass the request payload using JSON payload, external file, POJO, serialization and deserialization is super important nowadays. Multi-part request, Hamcrest validations, request and response logging and filters, all these things. Clear? Then we'll also be covering the spec builders, query parameters, form parameters, path parameters, passing JSON and XML data, JSON schema validators, Jackson libraries, JVay expressions, integration with Allure and extent reports, data-driven testing using CSV, Excel, and JSON. What are the different types of authentication that we are going to cover, like basic, bearer, digest, and if possible, I will also show you OAuth2 with Jira or something like that. Yes, that's also a great scenario to showcase. And also, I'll be going 1 or 2 classes about karate. Like some companies, some big MNC type product-based companies are asking for some bit of karate. So I'll just give you a 1 or 2 classes understanding of what is a karate framework. It's a zero coding API testing framework. You don't need to code much. So for that, what are the topics that we can cover within 1 or 2 classes of basic path parameters, query parameters, form parameters, response validations, fuzzy matches, reading data from external files, all these things we will try to cover. Any doubts with respect to API testing, guys?
What is the total duration of this course?
It will be 3 to 4. I mean, if you include Selenium also, it will be 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
If you want only API testing, it will be 2 to 2.5 months.
So this is basically a full stack course.
Yeah, it's a full stack course.
I think this course will be included on Selenium, right?
Yes. First Java, then I go with Postman, then I go with REST Assured, then I come up with Selenium. Lastly followed by AI, bit of AI fundamentals. Like focusing on some terminology like what is AI engineering, LLM, and how do we use Olama models for certain operations. And if your company is supporting this GPT models, if GPT models are what you call cloud models via API, how can we do it? Because I have a API sponsored by company which has around some tons of credits, and I use cloud API, cloud AI models to do some of my activities. So there are certain things which I will showcase you guys apart from GitHub Copilot. That's at the end of Selenium.
Do you provide practice assignments after each topic?
I'll show you that part. Don't worry. First, I'll show you how it looks like. Since you have asked. Yeah. So this is our tracker syllabus. This is when you log in as a student. Like currently, this weekend batch is happening. So if you see here, we will mention whatever topics we have covered. You will also see that you have to answer these quizzes within so and so time. Okay, once you enroll, you will have to answer all these questions. For every topic, we'll be uploading the class notes. We'll be providing you the quizzes. You need to answer the quizzes. I'll be providing with some programming questions. You need to answer your question here. You need to type the program here and you need to submit it. Or if you're not comfortable, you can upload the file and submit it. Got it?
So is there like a passing score or passing criteria
Yes,
for each
everything has a
exam?
passing criteria programmed in it.
It's like quiz type, multiple choice, or like
Naveen, I am losing your voice.
So my question was, what's the format? Like true, false,
There's no true
descriptive
false.
types?
Since you're a fresher, I will throw some light on it. Whatever concepts we have discussed, you need to answer the MCQs for it. There's nothing called as true false. And in the middle, we will also provide you with some programming questions where you need to write the code and submit the code there.
Okay.
There's no true false questions. Whatever the industry is asking, we are being on par with it, with our questionnaire. And whatever the diagrams that I have discussed in the class, I will also put my diagrams here. So everything is being tracked here. And all the notes which I have prepared, like presentations, anything for the topic, I'll be adding those notes here. You can download it from here also. I hope that answered my question. Answer your question, everyone.
Yes. Yeah.
So once you enroll as part of the course, then you'll be getting the access to this. And once you get the access to this, then every day, whatever topics that I cover every day will be updated here along with the notes, any documents is there along with the assignments.
So I have a question. So after this course, can we attempt the exam like certification wise?
Which certification are you talking about?
Automation, automation certification or something like people nowadays people are
No,
asking.
not really, not really. If you're, I mean, yeah, I don't know which type of companies you're going for, but if you ask me, the core product-based companies, they really don't look at what certification you have. They only ask for what is your skill set.
But I do see when we were applying, I do
You
see
are from
like
which part of the globe, Divya?
I'm from
Which part, like you are from India or from which country?
I'm USA.
Okay.
I'm from.
In USA, the certification is mainly asked for Tuxka. They'll ask for SAP. And if you want to do for automation, there's a ISTQB automation program that is
Yeah,
coming up.
that one I'm asking. Yeah, I stick
So
with it.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're going for a normal product-based companies or startup, they won't ask you. If you're going for a proper MNC types, then they will ask you that just to differentiate, just to filter out certain candidates. If your agenda is to work in MNC, then clearing the certification is not a big deal because the level of questions is medium, max to max, it's medium. You can clear it off with this course. That's not a problem. The problem with the certifications is they're still outdated. I'll tell you one example. They will give questions on Selenium IDE which is demolished officially by Google, officially by Selenium. Still, they'll ask questions. That is the reason most of the people will not judge you based on a certificate.
Yeah, but when it comes to the LinkedIn and all, so
Not really, Divya. You see, out of 100 companies, 5 to 10 companies might have asked. That's it.
Okay, that's the reason uh, I had that question. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello,
I
sir. I have
agree
a
with you,
question.
Rahul, on this because I'm also in US and some of the companies, as she's mentioning, they just want to see how much skill set or certification, but it's not required. If you don't have it, it doesn't matter. So your experience matter and what you know.
I have a question. As far as the questions and the assignments are concerned, do we have any kind of support team we can
There's
ask
no
our
support team.
queries?
I'm the support. I'm the trainer. I'm the whole and soul POC for
Okay.
you.
Okay. And like how much time do we get like before each assignment like to
I
finish?
mean, I'm not put any time limit, but it is your responsibility to finish it quickly. Okay.
Okay. Okay,
you
thank
finish
you.
it quick, you will get more questions. If you're not finishing quick and if you're taking your own sweet time, then you will get only those many set of questions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'm not at done still.
Okay, Rahul, I have a question.
Hmm.
So on the website, there is also another course by the same, is it API testing using
Yes,
Postman?
mine on. It's mine.
You said?
So, Michael, I'll tell you one thing. There are some requirements from students who specifically ask till API testing, and there are some students who ask for a complete full stack course. So there are some people who wanted to learn API testing only. They'll be part of the course till API testing, and they will drop off. Some people who want to learn complete full stack automation testing, they will continue till the end of the course. Michael, got it?
Oh, okay. Okay, I got
Only
it.
Selenium, we need to wait until for the last.
Then, apart from this, I'll also be covering an extensive coverage of Git concepts. What is Git? How the version control system has started? What is the difference between Git and GitHub? Flowchart of Git. What are the different tools that support Git apart from GitHub? We will be seeing the different Git commands that we use on a regular basis. We will also seeing how to use different Git actions via IntelliJ. And this SQL concept, like what is SSMS? How do we install certain databases like SSMS, SQL Server, or MyDB? And how do we perform the different CRUD operations? Like especially when we cover the JDBC concept, 1 or 2 classes I'll be spending on understanding what are the different CRUD operations in database and what are the different SQL commands that we have, like data definition language, manipulation language, DCL, DQL, all these things. Like 1, 2 classes we will spend because some companies are also asking a bit about the database. So for that reason, we are focusing bit on 1, 2 sessions on database also. Then we'll be seeing the Jenkins. What are the tools required to work with CI/CD platform, building pipelines, and what is the CI/CD all about? CI stands for continuous integration, CD stands for continuous deployment. So CI is where developers frequently integrate their code into a shared repository. Automated tests run on each integration to ensure code quality and catch issues early. This promotes a collaborative and quality-focused development environment. What is CD? Automates the release process. Ensures that the code changes are deployed to production automatically if they pass all the tests. Reduce the time from code commit to code deployment. So it's a see, CI/CD is now a mandatory in the modern software era. Now, what are the tools that we use? We'll be using Jenkins, Apache Maven, JDK. Docker is mandatory. Now there is no discount on Docker also. And AWS also, free tier account, have got it. And at the end of the course, I will try to cover AWS also. And what next? How do we build up pipelines? How do we set up the Jenkins tool, plugins, configure the build via Git repo, trigger the pipelines and observe the logs. And these days they were also asking about some Jenkins agent via SSH protocol. Recently I heard something about this. I'll also throw some insight on this because I cannot show you how do we connect with multiple agents because I don't have multiple laptops connected here. So whenever you go to an office infra or any interview, how do you answer this Jenkins agent based interview questions? Like suppose if I want to run in that agent, how do I do it and all the setup? We will discuss all those things later. Okay. Then we'll be discussing a bit on JDBC. What is JDBC? How do we integrate our core with the database? And how do we perform the required DB operations like updating the query, fetching the data from the query, and all those things? This will be covered this will be covered as part of rest assured. Like once the rest assured concepts are completed, when we start designing the framework, then I'll go into the database part and I'll help you understand how do we track the details into the database. How do I fetch the data from the database and all those things. Is this clear with respect to Git and JDBC?
Yes.
So Git is super important, guys, nowadays, because no matter how much ever code you write, if you are not managing things by yourself, then it will be a problem. So Git, it's not like you need to use some GUI to manage your Git code. You need to use your, you need to use the commands perfectly, not like using GitHub Desktop or IntelliJ to manage the code. You need to be smart enough in using the commands, because commands are something that is ultimate. Now, let's go to the next topic, that is Selenium. So what are the different concepts of Selenium that we are covering? Project setup. What is Maven? Adding dependencies to the Maven project. Advantages of Maven. I'll give you a complete history of what is Maven, why are we going the Maven, what is a build tool, all these things. Because nowadays we see in the interview, now they're not asking what is Maven, they're asking what is a build tool, and among that which you feel which is the best. Got it? Then we go for a Selenium architecture. Selenium 3 versus Selenium 4. What are the different architectural changes that we have? Then we launch the browsers via Chrome, via Firefox, via Edge, and via Safari. Okay. So there are different ways of launching a browser via Chrome. There are different ways of launching a browser via Firefox. There are different ways of launching a browser via Edge. We will see all the different ways in Selenium. So Windows switching and handling. How do we create a new tab? How do we create a new window? How do we launch multiple windows and tabs? How do we switch between windows and tabs? How do we launch tabs via JavaScript? Then we will also see how do we find different types of locators, like using ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS selectors, link text, partial link text, tag name. You see I've highlighted this in red color, XPath and CSS selectors. That means these are all super important. Okay. Then we go for the advanced locators. Two above, straight above, two below, straight below, two right of, two left of, all these things. Clear? Selenium 4 locators are very useful when we want to do the UI testing. Like suppose this particular field should be present on the right hand side of the label. How do I test it? You can use to right of. If a particular date picker should be present on the left hand side of this, so you can say to left of, to above, straight below. If you want to really check the UI of the page, like sometimes the management will be like, can you try automating the UI of the page? Can you check if it's right to this or left to this or something like that? Can we do such kind of a testing? Then you can try doing it with the help of Selenium for relative locators. So what are the different kinds of browser actions that we have? Click, send keys via card. How do we use the select, get text, get DOM property versus get DOM attribute, is displayed and is hidden, get CSS value and clear, get tag name, get area role, handling web tables and all those things. And we will also be seeing what are the different types of weights, implicit weight, explicit weight, fluent weight, custom weight codes and all those things. And action classes like click, double click, send keys, context click, move to element, all these different actions we'll be seeing, because these actions are not part of Selenium library, they're part of actions library, which is present under Selenium support package, which will be seeing all these things. Then we will also see the different JavaScript actions, like how do we highlight the element, how do we scroll the pages, scroll to view, generate alerts, refresh page, send keys, click, using the JavaScript executor. Apart from this, what else can we do with JavaScript? You can also see, like if you want to execute some customized JavaScript code onto the browser, how can we do it? You can also see all this. Then you will be seeing how do we capture the screenshots, like for the particular element, for that particular browser. And video recording is not required now. This is not required currently because we have a lot of other tools to record the videos of the execution, so we need not do anything. Monter recorder is outdated now. Then we'll also be seeing how do we what are the different ways to fetch strings by name, by ID, by element. We'll be seeing what are the different ways to switch between the frames. Then we'll also see the additional topics like shadow frames, upload and download of files, Chrome options, desired capabilities, how do we kill existing browsers via command line, handling sliders and handling browser related pop-ups, browser authentication, via URL has authentication library. What is this browser authentication? Like sometimes you'll be getting a pop-up where you need to enter the username and password. So in such situations, what we need to do, we have to use browser authentication like via has authentication library. We will be seeing all these things. These are all part of Selenium 4. Selenium 3 doesn't have this via has authentication library. It's part of Selenium 4. Any doubts with respect to the Selenium pointers, everyone?
Hi, are you going to cover Cucumber framework too?
Yeah, and I have not yet shown those topics which I'm covering.
Okay.
With respect to Selenium pointers, everything is clear? So classes won't happen this quickly, guys. For your information, classes won't happen this fast and quickly since we are covering the syllabus, since this is an introductory session. That is why some people might feel it too much overpaced. So classes will be very slow, very neat and clear. You will not have the classes like this manner. Everything is in a structured, very detailed manner, very organized manner. Only since this is the introductory session, you might feel that the class is going a bit quickly. Then first we will start with the TestNG concept. How do we write the test cases, annotations in TestNG, and the sequence of execution, dependency between the methods, parameterization, TestNG attributes, event firing decorators, parallel testing, and grouping of test cases. And we'll be seeing the data provider. How do we use data provider via Excel, CSV, JSON? We will also cover in the rest assured, and we will also see here how can we use this. Then you will be seeing what are the different listeners that we can use on a day-to-day execution, WebDriver event listener, iSort listener, iAnnotation transformer, iSort listener, and all those things. Cucumber. What are the different topics we are covering in Cucumber? Feature files, scenario outline, data tables, preparing the scenario name based on the tags, parallel testing, examples, Pico container, Cucumber annotations, hook class, background, step definition. Cucumber with JUnit, I'll just give a brief understanding of how to use JUnit with Cucumber. Like hardly half a class it takes for you to understand what is what. But our core focus of the course will be on TestNG. Always remember, Cucumber with TestNG is something that gives you much more flexibility and much more reliability. So let me skip the API testing. We have already covered this. So we'll also be seeing an in-detail understanding of how do we handle the Excel operations, how do we write the data, update the data, reading the data, using Excel operations via data provider, and all those things. Okay. So then we'll also understand what is a properties file, adding Apache Commons library, reading the values from the properties file, writing the values to the property file, maintaining different files for different environments, creating a master slave mechanism, and a real-time usage. And you will also see how do I generate extent reports. And also for this batch, I'm coming up with chain test reports also. Exclusively from this batch onwards, I'm coming up with chain test reports, which I have not mentioned anywhere because this is exclusively for the people who are attending the demo. I wanted to tell them that we are covering chain test reports as part of this course. And we'll also be covering the Allure report too. And we'll also be seeing the different types of frameworks like hybrid framework, linear framework, data-driven framework, modular framework. We'll be seeing all these different types of frameworks at different phases of our course. Now, is this clear, everyone? What are the topics we are covering for TestNG and Cucumber? Is this clear, everyone? Any doubts? And apart from this, in API testing, I forgot to mention one more thing that we'll also be covering the GraphQL API testing. What is GraphQL? Why we are using GraphQL in the current market? What is it all about? How do we set up GraphQL rest assured? How do we use GraphQL with the API Postman? All these things we'll also be discussing in our API testing course. Because if you're going for a very big companies as an SDET role, like Walmart or Amazon, or if you're going for some even a good startup based companies which are into this food industry or e-commerce industry, they are starting using GraphQL regularly. So what are the things that we are covering in terms of AI? This Olama local AI models, how do we set up and configure? How do we run the LLMs locally? How do we select the model? Because selecting the model is not about how many billion parameters it has. We have to select based on the system configuration and all those things. We will also cover some topics on AI generation, AI engineering. What are the different pointers that we need to see in AI engineering, LLM model transformers and all these things. Sri, they don't need any programming knowledge. We are covering right from scratch, absolute scratch. Tomorrow onwards, we are covering the course, starting the course right from absolute scratch. So API integration with test frameworks, how do you use Olama, how do you use self-healing mechanism with the help of Olama and all this thing. And we will also see GitHub Copilot and Codex, how do we use this GitHub Copilot and Codex. And how do we use Cloud Code and Git ingest for our day-to-day activities. How do you use CLI tools for automation testing? What are the different types of prompt engineering techniques that we need to know? Like in YouTube, we will get a lot of prompt engineering techniques, but what is required for us? How many tokens does each prompt take? Which is an efficient prompt? Which is an efficient way to get the response out of it? How do we combine multiple AI tools? Like if time permits, I'll also show you N8 and how do we use for our day-to-day activities. So we'll be covering AI also. We'll be try to covering right from absolute scratch, like what is AI engineering, what is an LLM model, what is an SLM model. Right now, SLM model is something that is trending, and also we'll be showcasing you what is this tokens, embedded vectors. I'll try to cover 2-3 classes on this at the end of the course so that you will understand what to do. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So recently I have made a tool which has been accepted in my organization. That is, one sec guys, I will have to show you this thing. So in the last 2-3 months, we have created a lot of AI tools that is supporting our day-to-day activities. Out of which one thing is something that we are focusing a lot. Yes, Karthikeyan, go ahead.
I mean, this AI is only for the full stack course or only
Full stack.
if you are fetching the only API course we can't.
API, we are not covering much. We are not doing it there. So like this, for suppose if you see, this is a token optimizer prompt that I have created. Like for suppose, understanding Java concepts in for an estate role. So you see here how many tokens that it is taking, how many characters, what is the optimized tool that you can use to generate this, which model you can use, along with tune format. What is tune? What is JSON? What are the different types of format? AI input prompt engineering. I will be saying all this, sharing all these things in detail for you. Tune is the current way of prompt engineering, not the JSON, not the text. How do you give a prompt in different formats? Instruction format, how the response shall come. I'm designing everything here, guys. YAML, JSON, how many tokens do we consume, and all these things. What is an optimized prompt that you can have? And if you want to have some templates, you can also have some marketing templates. And I'm working on it. I'm working on adding more testing templates, testing related templates here. I'm just working on this prompt models. And also, if you want to check how the response is coming with different AI models, you can put it. But I'm not recommending you to do this right away because the APIs have been recharged with a very small amount. So right now I'm finding a ways to add more dollars to the API payloads, like for OpenAI, for Claude, for Google. I'm seeing a way to add more dollars so that you can test it at a global scale. So if you want, you can test it as a batch input. You can do a batch analysis and all those things. So this is very, very much important for me as a daily role because I use AI to question a lot, to get the answers, to improve the efficiency of myself. Again, AI works for people who are fundamentally and clear, who have some great knowledge in their work, and just they want to enhance their work. Then for them it is very useful. If you want to run right from absolute scratch, I don't believe AI is the right platform. You need to go to a formal training like this. Then once you crack all the assignments and all the things, then you go for an AI. Then it will give you some. Then it will do the magic for you. Don't expect AI to give you everything right in front of you. You have to train them. You have to give mold accordingly. That is one thing I would like to say about AI. And recently also we have one sec, I'll show you this. Recently also we have certified this tool for performance testing. I know this is out of topic, but I just want to share this, that we have also done something in performance testing where all the non-tech people or my CTO or CEO can do this. Just give me 2 minutes of time, guys. I'll just show you this, and any doubts you have, you can let me know, guys. Class duration each day is 8 to 9 a.m. IST, Monday to Friday, and I require you to practice around 2 hours every day. Not initially, but as the classes gradually go, you need to practice every day for 2 hours minimum in order to be perfect with the concept. Because you need to watch the recording, you have to practice everything again, right?
Hello, sir. Could you please repeat the class timings, please?
So the class duration will be from 8 to 9 a.m. IST, Monday to Friday, and you need to revise for, you need to practice for every day 1 or 2 hours on a daily basis.
What about the Eastern time zone?
Can you just check it out, please? I'm very bad with this other zone timings.
9:30 Eastern.
Is the same
9:30
time you're doing this one?
Yes, yes, it's the same.
9:30 p.m.
Okay.
Rahul, I just have one question. First, after Java concepts, we are going through API testing.
Yes.
After
Yes.
that, we are covering the Selenium, right?
Yes.
In 2 months, it will be completed, or what it is?
Selling API 2 to 2.5 months, because most of the time, I mean, I'll tell you what happens with API testing. After the Java is completed, then we focus on Git. Then Postman will take 1 to 1.5 week, 1 to 1.5, max 2 weeks. Rest assured also 2 to 2.5 weeks. Like that it will be. I
But
mean,
only
don't worry on the
Selenium.
duration. Don't
I'm
worry on the
thinking.
duration part
No,
much.
actually, I need Selenium concept, so that's what I'm asking.
Selenium will take time first, because majority of the requirement what I've received in the recent times is API testing. First, everyone wants to be clear with API testing, because everyone wants to have a crack at API testing, then Selenium. That's the reason, Sanjay. Apart from that, nothing else.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Suraj?
Sir, what is the cost of this course, sir?
You can contact the admin team. They will let you
Okay,
assist
okay.
all the details.
Okay, okay.
I'm only the
Okay.
technical part of the course.
Okay, sir. Okay. No problem. Okay, thank you.
So this is like a performance script generator tool that will execute. So let me pick up any boards.code. Let me, anyways, we'll be working on this API soon. So for suppose the requirement is that you need to test a performance testing for this tool. Like, so what we will do, it will automatically generate a script, performance script for you. And when you click on start test, it will start executing your test cases, performance script with all the required things. I mean, this is just a tool. In the recent times I've built it, and my organization has accepted this tool and have embedded that tool into my organization framework. Clear? You just need to have the curl command. Just click on generate scripts based on your requirement, and it will start executing the code. You need not worry about anything.
So Rahul, I have a question. Like using these kind of concepts or going with the authenticate based work wise. So is there any difference?
Sorry?
Like you simply did the performance test for this application, for the
Hmm.
request, right? So
Hmm.
uh, usually as a as a performance tested for do this, it will take some minimum like 10 to 15 days, for example, for instance.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that 15 days work gone to the within the seconds, right? So is there
See,
any
the
difference
15,
performance
the
wise?
difference here, what we do is the why we take 10 to 15 days means if you go for a Jmeter or this thing, what we do, we record the flows of the APIs. When you go for an actual real-time performance testing right now in the current market, the leading tools are K6 and Gatling right now because everyone is going for a script-based performance testing tool right now. Because we are very sure that what are the APIs we need to do a performance testing. Back in the olden days, we don't know what kind of APIs to do performance testing. Now everyone is clear that what kind of APIs do I need to target for performance testing. So specifically we target for this performance testing or the developer will share the Postman collection. I will do the performance testing only for that Postman collection.
Yeah, but results wise same.
Results are the same. Say, no matter
Okay.
you do JMeter, no matter you do K6, the results remain same. But it gives you more metrics.
Okay.
So whatever metrics you've seen just now is from the K6 tool itself only.
Right. So if I follow for the performance, like going to test the performance testing or through the JMeter, so the metrics will be changed or like we
Metrics
can
won't
expect.
change. See, it all depends on the API time.
Okay.
API time. So this is one thing why management is asking because we have a heavy requirement of performance testing here. Like every month we have to spend around 5 to 10 days on performance testing. So I decided to build this tool so that everyone can do performance testing.
Yeah, my bother is like so usually every organization require the performance tester, but by using like this, so anybody can do, right? So that's a
Yes,
question.
everybody can do, anyone can do. Of course,
Anybody can
required.
do. So one person can do everything. So that's
Yes,
the.
yeah, that's what I did it. Like it was doing performance testing. Parallelly, I was scripting my test cases for M site. M site is mobile site.
Yeah.
So nowadays, these kind of things they are expecting. So I built around couple of tools like this, like around 15 tools like this for addressing my everyday activities.
Okay.
So more tools are coming on the way. Like the requirements are there. So I'm building more and more tools. So let's see by the end of the course how many tools I'll build it and showcase it to you.
Yeah, so during the course or after the course, will we get any assistance about the to getting the job or a placement or something?
We are not guaranteeing any job or placement assistance. One thing is if we get in something in our referral network, like currently in my organization, we have job openings. Like that, if any referral network is there, we will try to push a profile through our known friends or something like that. That too, we cannot guarantee. We're not guaranteeing any placement or support for that. If we have something in our referral network, then we'll definitely get into it.
Okay, sure.
Anything else? Last 5 minutes.
Rahul, sorry, you must be very tired, but I just have a
No,
question.
no, it's a morning session for me. Tell me.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry, I am tired. It's 10:45
Hmm.
here.
Yeah.
So my question is like, when do you think would be like a tentative date, like the end of this course?
I don't have a tentative date because some people now we have a new year coming up, Christmas coming up. Some people will go on a holiday, or sometimes you will be saying like, I want more light on this topic. So I'm giving you the approximate duration, like 3 to 4 months will finish the course. Okay, but again,
Oh.
you never know. Now again, holidays are coming up in India. Also in January, we have 5 to 6 holiday stretches coming up. So I don't know. I'm ready
Well,
to take classes, but others also may have to have the same opinion, right? So I'm giving you the
yeah.
approximate timeline. I'm not giving you any exact timelines.
Okay, okay. Fair. Sounds fair to me. Yeah,
Hmm.
sure. Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah, please. Who's next? I guess no one has no doubts.
Yeah, introduction was so impressive, Rahul, but I don't know, like main part is like how to understand these many concepts. The short
That is why I'm
orientation.
here, na. That is why I'm here for you. That is why you're all in this platform. If-
So, I
So,
mean, if we miss some classes like Monday to Friday or sometime like Monday, Tuesday, so I mean, can we join weekend classes also sometime?
weekend classes, they are way ahead. Right now we are finished inheritance and all those things. Now we are in the interfaces. Like next week we will cover another part of Java. So I recommend not to join weekend classes because we have crossed the good good number of concepts there. If you join in the middle, it will be confusing for you.
Okay, okay, okay.
So Ravi, weekend classes have already started and they are running. And Monday, Friday is the new thing that we have started right now.
Are you going to be recording the sessions?
Yes,
We
yes,
can.
everything will be
Okay,
done.
awesome.
Can we get today's session too? Like this is not a
Admin team
session,
will
but
admin
information
team
is.
will admin team will get back to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Rahul, I have a question. So if I'm the outside India, right? So if is it okay if I can sometimes join in the Indian time, or is it like strict?
Like this is the time you have to join. This is the only batch that I have running currently. Okay.
Okay, so
So
9:30
Naveen,
to
the thing
12.
I'm trying to say is I don't have multiple batches. Like morning, I have this new batch running, and weekend one more batch is running. Only these two are
Oh,
running,
okay.
and that's the
Okay, I got
reason.
it. Okay, this is the only batch. Okay.
This is the only batch which is starting from scratch. I don't have any other batch starting from scratch, and I don't take too many batches because I have to do office work. I have to do other AI projects also, which is in my office. So I have to do multiple things. So
Yes, I understand. And when are you planning to start the classes, Rahul?
tomorrow onwards.
Oh, it's tomorrow onwards. Okay.
Tomorrow
Okay.
onwards, we are starting with the tools, installations, and all those things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Mm. Okay, if no one else has no doubts, then we can wrap it up and we can see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, team. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you all for your time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.